Topping the news this evening, acknowledging that after viewing the severe destruction caused by Hurricane Dorian on Grand Bahama and Abaco, Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis said his government immediately decided to change how the Bahamas prepares and responds to natural disasters. That's where the Disaster Reconstruction Authority bill comes in. The Prime Minister detailed the components of the legislation and how it will assist in managing any natural disaster going forward. As Altaviz Munnings tells us, she joins us live from the House of Assembly tonight. Altaviz?
Good evening, Keishla, and good evening, Bahamas. Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis underscored his government's responsibility to create a new regime of disaster preparedness and response that's expected to better preserve life and lessen the impact of natural disasters. The Prime Minister made those comments as he opened a debate on the Disaster Reconstruction Authority bill here at the House of Assembly this morning.
Your government is working smartly.
The Bahamas Disaster Reconstruction Authority bill outlines the work of the Bahamas Disaster Reconstruction Authority that's responsible for the management of reconstruction and restoration in areas designated as disaster zones. The Prime Minister can also declare an impacted area a disaster zone. Then there's the implementation of the Bahamas National Recovery and Reconstruction Trust Fund, which is an independent and non-political body to help fund home and building repairs.
The category are set out and the priorities are set out, and therefore one cannot make decision that this is a PLP or this is an FNM or this is a DNA. The hurricane affected Bahamians. And the Speaker, with a transparent board with trustees, such an entity can remain indefinitely so that monies can continuously be deposited and individuals would not be placed in a position of having home repairs, but hopefully we would be able to construct and rebuild individual homes. And I would encourage, once that is established, I would encourage individuals, banks, corporations, etc., to make donations to such a trustee. I would encourage Bahamians, be it $5, $10, or $15, to make deposits to such a fund, knowing that everything is transparent and the monies are used to help their fellow Bahamians who would have suffered great damage as a result of Dorian.
Prime Minister Minnis further revealed that the authority may appoint disaster zone reconstruction committees who will be appointed for 5 years and will be responsible for reconstruction and rehabilitation in the disaster zone. The authority will also allocate funding for these committees.
And all funds collected or received for the purposes of this act by the government or any ministry, agency, or entity controlled by the government shall be directed and allocated to the authority without delay. The funds of the authority shall be applied to work related to disaster zones and related public education. The remuneration of the members of the board and authority will come from funds allocated by Parliament. Where the authority accepts any donation of funds, materials, equipment, or other goods donated for a specific purpose, that donation must be used for specific purposes.
Prime Minister Minnis also specified details of why 20% of the authority's budget will be earmarked for salaries.
We have government entities, agencies, similar to authorities, who has gone viral, where 99% of the budget is used for salaries.
Oh my God.
Would that mean those agencies cannot move forward? And it's only a matter of time before 110% of the budget is used for salaries. And Mr. Speaker, we're trying to avoid that so that individuals of such authority don't go viral and believe that is an employment agency and employ here, there, left, right, up, down, and wherever they choose.
Prime Minister also announced in the House of Assembly this morning that the bill will enable the Department of Immigration to issue humanitarian travel authorization to international aid workers. It's free of charge and will last for about 3 months. Now, the bill is expected to wrap up in the House of Assembly either between tonight and tomorrow, and the Prime Minister is right now wrapping up debate on the Disaster Reconstruction Authority bill here at the House of Assembly. Reporting live from the House of Assembly, I'm Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News. Back to you, Kishla.